Hello everyone and welcome to the third and final round of the 2020 Samui Swine Classic presented by Innova Champion Disc. We're at the Samui Disc Golf course along with Nigel's catering service, Terry Miller the disc golf guy, and Sarah Hokom, our 2012 world champion. And Sarah, beautiful course, ready to go here on the third and final day. Short and easy hole number one. Well, is it that easy?
It looks easy, for sure. 144 feet with a double Mando with a height restriction. I believe that's how it is phrased.
This Thank you to the internet. Yes, now we know.
No doubt. This one is a must-get par 2. I'm here throwing an envy around the outside, hoping to miss that palm tree. Most players are going to throw a putter, as we'll see Paige here stepping up. Just want to kind of scoot it up there, throw it relatively low. Exactly like she just did.
That's CTP all weekend, I think.
Yeah, view up next.
View sporting the beautiful dye sublimated Thailand disc golf shirts, thanks to Nigel and his creativity. He says that he knows they're some of the loudest shirts in all of disc golf, and that's exactly what he's going for. So, mission accomplished.
Briana also scooting it up there, giving herself a putt. View will have a little bit of work to do. Not quite how she wanted to start this battle.
Off in the background, you see both Paige and Bree with some of their smoothie shakes. That's how you got to start your round off here in Thailand.
Yes, go get your shake at the cafe right by hole 1.
Oh. A little anxious on that one. Yeah, a little bit too much power. Bree's got some work to do.
Leaving her blocked. She's got a little window between those palm leaves, which will slap your disc down more than you think it would. They are pretty sturdy plants.
So unfortunately, the cardinal sin there, turning a possible birdie into a bogey. A little bit of a rough start. Here you are with a birdie look. Nice.
That's a way to start the round. Me and Paige here are battling. We are 4 strokes apart coming into this round. The first round, Paige was able to shoot a great score and got me by 1 stroke. But then that second round, I was able to get her by 5, leaving the deficit of 4. So we're going to battle it out here for the next 21 holes now. On to hole 2, sponsored by Johnny Rumble. 279 feet. This hole requires a gap shot. There is a Mando on the left that will slowly turn and get into this field goal right by this termite mound. We'll see most backhand players throwing a slow turning fairway, and I'm going to throw a crave. A little bit of headwind.
Yeah, you're keeping it low. I was just going to say, you mentioned headwind, I mentioned you keeping it low. Just trying not to make one of those mistakes that may carry you far left or into that nasty stuff on the right.
Paige with a putter yanks it a little bit high and right, but it'll leave her in the fairway to scramble for her par.
You heard her right out of her hand say, ooh, it's definitely not the release she was looking for. And you talked about it a little bit, seeing that view. It really throws those understable kind of flip-up shots, and that was a shot here.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a local route, but seeing as how she's relatively local, that is very fitting. Briana with the flexing sidearm gets a little caught up in the palms. She'll have some work to do.
Paige can play that wide gap. She wishes it was a little bit wider, but it looks like it'll put her probably around circle's edge. And now here we are with Briana's shot.
No 2-meter rule in play here. Only pretty much in Northern California, I think they still use that. So she's going to take her shot, and then we're going to try to get this out of the tree.
She's got a similar look to what we saw from Paige, maybe a little bit more obstruction on that far right side, and a similar result.
View is a ninja.
Oh, wow.
several men had attempted to get it down prior to that, and it was my suggestion for views. I was like, yeah, she's got it first try.
So View's birdie attempt is not on the mark. And here you are, you're short and left of the pin, left with a long look at birdie, probably about 35, 40 feet. Nice!
We had a little bit of crowd there to celebrate that birdie.
Paige likes it as well, so momentarily you again take the birdie and now jump out to that 5-stroke advantage. Paige yet to complete it. This is Bree to save her par.
Yeah, cans it.
With enthusiasm, working hard for it.
Paige also putting confident, saves the par.
And View stares it down. And hole 2, I think we have a clarification. Johan?
Oh yes, Johan Davidson is actually sponsoring here hole 3. He is actually from Sweden and not Finland, like I originally said in the first round coverage. Sorry about that, Johan. I kind of mix up those Scandinavian countries here and there. Anyway, on to hole 3, 197 feet. This is an island hole, playing to a slow backhand. I'm going to throw the sidearm, however.
Absolutely beautiful. You've thrown that so well throughout this event. It seems like it's actually a perfectly wide gap for you, no problems, but you're making it look easy.
Paige with another early release on this hole, but she is on the island. View also early release, but off the island, so she'll go to the drop zone. I'm wondering if the tee is facing somewhere a little bit odd to make this hole cause these early releases. It's been kind of consistent. I've seen this from a lot of the players throwing a backhand.
View trying to save her par from 60-some feet. And up against the wall there. She stays on the island, but likely a bogey in her future.
Oh. Did it go under? It did, but I don't know if it went all the way.
Yeah, and that's the one problem is that wall, not very firm, so you can possibly crawl up and over it or sometimes slide under it. So don't rely on it is the pro tip.
Caught it there.
Yeah, it did. And Paige has struggled mightily on this hole. I know she's over par on the weekend for this hole, which is so surprising because it's such a must-get birdie shot.
Paige cleaning up her par. This is now going to be the third hole in a row Paige has gotten a par, and I have gotten the birdie. As you can see, my disc is parked next to the basket, extending my lead to should be 7 at this point.
Yeah, once you are able to tap in, you're going to move to 7 in front of her, and I feel like you've made up 7 strokes probably on this hole alone almost throughout the weekend.
It has been a swing hole for sure. I've been getting the birdie. Paige has been struggling with it, but you know, there's other holes out there that we have the opposite reaction on.
And we move over to hole 4. This one's pretty tight for everyone, and you need a perfect line, don't you?
Absolutely, 305 feet. It may not be long, but it is tight with a low ceiling and a lot of trees to navigate, especially towards the end of the flight. The slow turning backhand that hooks up towards the basket is my preferred route for watching. However, because that's not my strength as a player, I'm going to throw another sidearm and hoping to kind of get lucky through the late trees. And it does kind of pop through that last line. It'll leave me a long putt. Paige also going with the sidearm. She's been committed to this shot for the entire tournament so far. Misses the line.
I feel like that was just like hole 2, where she knew right out of her hand it was not the line she was hoping for.
Also, view just a little bit early. And Briana, looks like she's going to put down a roller here. That would be the roller music.
Yeah. I don't want to get flagged for copyrighted content here. Official roller music.
I don't think it was good enough, but
View's going to have a little work to do, but she's going to take the outside route, which sometimes if your shot lands bad enough, that gives you that alternative, we'll say, to go all the way to that outside route. And it looks like she executed it well. Paige going with a forehand again. Let's see if she can find another gap.
Looking for a big skip. She's in range.
Yeah, all things considered, that's a really good approach shot from where she was.
Settle. No.
Bree, a little early, little high, leaving herself a putt for par. I'm throwing an entropy approach here. It's always guaranteed to go left. That's what I'm counting on. Get a little pole love.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like the disc did the work it was supposed to, and then the pole was like, no, you're going to finish to the right. So Bree's got some work to do as we feel the breeze. And now coming from the opposite side of the basket, View has the same look, but the camera's on the opposite side.
I think that was a good play by View to go outside the tree line, but then it definitely leaves you trees to contend with as you're trying to get back into the basket. Paige for par. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Oh, a little bit of frustration from Bree. She has not had a good start yet, but I think we're going to see things pick up. Final round, it's sometimes you get a little bit nervous as you're battling through this down the stretch. On to hole 5, 627 feet, par 4, sponsored by Jeff Hungerford. This one takes a big distance shot off the tee, and then you're navigating these coconut trees, typically from left to right to get to the basket. However, you can take that right side. There is a bushy tree, though, with a ceiling right by the OB on the right. There is also OB on the left throughout the entire hole. I'm throwing a trace here, getting a little bit of turn in that wind, hoping to land in the open and not right behind a coconut tree, where I have been most of this tournament.
Paige with her backhand, and what a move she's put on that.
That is perfect.
Just the right amount of turn. It fights back. It kind of pushes to that left side OB, and in really good position.
View with a little bit of a low release, but she's in bounds.
Maybe one of the... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Bree with just a little bit too much juice on that one, but she also is in bounds and has some work around this corner. If she can stay in bounds right here.
Oh, yeah, that out of bounds comes up very quickly on that right side, and sometimes even when you hit a tree, you have to worry about it going left or right and finding out of bounds. And that appeared to be a good stop, actually, for View. As I was just talking, that could have easily kicked to the right and went out of bounds.
Got a pretty open lane to approach this green. That was a good tree that it didn't kick me out of bounds.
I love the optimism there.
Looks like View is a little bit perplexed on what line she should be taking here. That coconut tree is right in her way, so she's going to have to watch her hand in order to not hit that. She takes the hyzer, but the wind catches it, pushes it out of bounds left.
Yeah, and I can understand her not wanting to throw an anhyzer there to put the disc, the angle in the wind That's probably what she was thinking about, as we see yours kind of get beat down as well. This is Paige throwing her second shot.
I think we've all thrown at least 2, if not 3 already, and Paige is just on her second shot. And she's going to have tap in for birdie.
Wow. She's going to need to start doing some work. She's down 7 to you. You guys are 5 holes into this 22-hole round.
Little high on that blocker tree on the right, but it does fight through.
You stand still, maybe just a little too much juice. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle. It looked like a good line, but maybe just too much power. You're lining up something from 45 feet, maybe?
Yeah, this is to save my par after I got caught up on my second shot. A little bit windy. Well, I think my expression, I'm just praying to God right now that didn't actually happen, but unfortunately it did.
Do you feel like you just put the nose down too low, or did it not come out of your hand clean? Is there anything you recall?
All of the above, certainly. Nose way down into a headwind, and then it didn't have a clean release. And yeah, here I am trying to shake that off, but I'm pretty embarrassed that just happened on a pretty standard approach. And I'm pretty sure that frustration led to that second putt, and now I'm walking away with a double bogey. Ouch. Leaving the door open for Paige here.
Yeah, as you kind of look up to the sky, a little frustration. I believe that's your worst hole up into this point, so you're going to hopefully be able to shake it off and keep moving here. You don't want to give Paige any opportunities here, but we're looking at a 3-stroke swing on this one hole.
Yeah, I have to be able to just narrow it down and rein in the putting here and not let that affect my future putts.
And just pulling it in for the double as well by view, and Paige taking advantage. I mean, one might say, oh, she's got a huge advantage on a 627-foot par 4, but she threw 2 perfectly placed shots. And unfortunately, you struggled a little on the green as we move over to the second longest hole on the course.
Yep, that is golf. On to hole 6, 436 feet. This is a controlled distance shot off the tee, up one of either the right or the left alley, leaving you about 100 feet to approach the pin, unless, of course, you are Miss Paige Pierce, who has the potential to get all the way there. Ooh. Pulled it a little bit right and caught a tree. I don't think it kicked her out of bounds.
I don't believe so, but if we're keeping notes at home, we're 6 holes in, and 3 times this round she's already been a little bit frustrated with her release shot. You know, something to do with her drive. Something might be a little off here today. We'll see.
That's pretty uncharacteristic for Paige coming into the final round. She's usually just really dialed in and focused. Could be a little bit of that Thai fun coming into our game plan here. Ooh, I think that went out of bounds. Or did it?
I think it came up just short of the OB, but also speaking a moment ago to the idea that this is actually also Paige's first event with her new sponsor in Discraft.
Fuck yeah!
Great recovery from Bree. Hear the roosters in the background there. They're cheering for her.
Paige has the standstill. Not such a bad tree kick.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think she would have been able to get that one in the basket. And yeah, it's been great to see Paige throwing her new plastic, and I'm just very happy for her for all the ways she's been pushing female sports or female disc golfers in this sport to the next level.
And your approach is a little short and left, and you know as well as anyone, you've gone through a couple of different sponsors throughout the last few years, and you've of course been very happy with MVP. So sometimes there's just a minor adjustment period, even if it's plastic she was somewhat familiar with. There's a little bit of an adjustment period. But no problems there. She takes the par. I see Kingsley Flett from Australia off in the background. I know he's doing some work for Ultra World and amazing photographer. I know you think he's an excellent writer, as do I. So it's great to see him. Some of my international travels have granted me a couple of weeks with Kinga in Australia and now Thailand back-to-back years. What an amazing individual and human.
I'd like to see your passport. On to hole 7. Mando on the left. This requires a big flexing backhand at 344 feet. Most of the women can get there. I've seen both Bree and View and Paige all get there. The problem is this wind, which we have a tailwind here, requiring extra turn, and it looks like Paige may have missed the Mando. I'm just throwing a hyzer out to the right, looking to pitch up.
Playing it off the coconut. I think you have to call it when it's off of the coconut drop zone, which isn't something we get to say too often on the any professional tour.
Oh yeah, just right over there by the coconut drop zone. 3, little extra turn. We all threw it a little bit low. We all kind of missed our angle here. I think that wind is kind of causing some havoc here.
As you're fanning yourself in the background.
I got that fan at the market the other night.
And that spot where Bree is probably isn't too far from where she landed when she was playing hole 4, actually. You can see hole 4 was off in the background.
Yeah, she'll have some work to do from there. It's about a 30, 35 footer. Paige from the drop zone looks like she did miss that. Mando puts it up there nicely.
And we've seen some magic here from Bree in the past, so I'm kind of surprised. I thought this was her possibly lucky number 7.
Well, I'm thinking it'd be better to have luck than skill right now for all of us on this hole.
A little bit of a struggle here, a few holes in. You're looking at the bogey. You've gone to 16. Paige doesn't gain any ground because she goes to 12, so she's still 4 behind you. View's gonna win the box with a par, it looks like.
That doesn't happen too often on this course. Usually you need a birdie to get through this one on the top of the box. On to hole 8, 312 feet. Magnus Dunder is our sponsor. This hole requires a very tight flip up from a backhand or a very, very tight line on a fairway driver from a sidearm. View hitting the gaps but leaving a little bit high, not enough turn, so she'll have a little bit of work to do to get up and down for a par. Paige with her soul looking for a slow flip up, but that leaves her out of bounds on that unfortunate kick off the coconut. We are all showing you how not to play this hole.
Oh my God.
Well, at least you made some great progress, as you would say, down. You know, you're almost pin high, and you're going to have at least a clean look at the basket, where the other two have a little work to do on that left side.
Let's see if Bree can show us how it's done. She makes the Mando, flexes. She is deep. Whoopsies, I threw it past the basket. I'll trade her.
Paige is on the left side. Few trees to navigate, but anytime you see that sand poof up like that, dust up, you know that you're on the green, so to speak, figuratively.
The spin putt from about 60 feet. I'll take it.
And View is a little closer than I thought she was off the tee. She has a long look at a birdie here.
That's close. And Bree with our lone birdie attempt, our left birdie attempt. Oh, those chains. Those chains have been causing problems a little bit. Maybe we need to just replace those chains.
Oh no!
What? Another?
You just chained her. You chained Paige.
Jeez. Oops. Sorry, Paige.
I see. Yep. Go ahead.
The chains are just a little wide and they're heavy, and they got a little bit of rust on them, which sometimes helps catch a disc. But in this case, we're seeing it kind of push the discs out of the basket.
Oh my goodness.
And now I've successfully chained View as well. I am sorry.
All right. On a more positive note, I want to thank Disc Baron, who's a sponsor of that basket for the year. Disc Baron out of Michigan. Check them out as we move over to hole number 9.
213 feet. This is a straight shot, almost like a par 2. There is a Mando on the right and Obi on the left and deep. I'm throwing an electron matrix.
Right. There we go. Here's your card job. Close.
Bree going with, I believe that's, is that a Firebird? It's something sharper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a G-Star Firebird. She throws that quite a bit on her sidearm lines. View going with a putter.
Oh my gosh.
Whew!
Right
Beautiful.
line.
Paige also with her putter. Looking for a little turn, and she gets it.
And kind of an interesting timestamp to that. I believe that putter was approved literally just a few days before this event kicked off here in 2020. So she's just taking full advantage of using it. As Bree lines up her birdie.
Great fist pump there.
Thank you guys. Bang, bang.
All right, here we go. Picking it up. I think we may have stopped the bleeding here.
We'll just skip hole 8 next time. You don't even have to worry about that one. View lining up for what should be 3 of 3 birdies. So that brings me to a great request of our viewers. Thank you guys for joining us and subscribing and the bell and all that good stuff. But leave in the comments if you're throwing a putter for a tee shot, what that putter is. That's what I'd love for you guys to leave in the comments. When you do so, that will make you eligible to win a disc. Heck, it may even be in a putter that I give away, but leave it in the comments with this star frame here what putter you'd throw off the tee as we move over to hole 10. Just 2 left to play in this front loop.
197 feet. There's a big alleyway on the right side asking for a swooping hyzer to come in and skip to the basket. You can go with the high route or the low route. I'm going to go with the high route, intention to go with the high route. We'll see how it comes out. Oh, came out high. Oh, that's good.
Higher than Gary was expecting at first. Now, we've seen kind of a cheater route where forehanders go right up the middle, kind of through an entirely different route. Surprised you don't take that one, Sarah.
Well, you know, sidearm cheater routes. I try not to be a cheater. But no, honestly, I didn't like the route. I tried it a few times. I think View's got the best. Oh, well, I like her low skip route. It seems like if you do hit something, it's going to stay close to where it hit and not kind of ricochet somewhere. Paige also going with a lower route.
And she does get a good ricochet, so to speak. She's still left with a birdie look. View's got some work to do to try and get probably out and around that tree. She needs it to fall hard. I like the idea, just she needs that to stall more as it's hyzering around that tree. Here's Paige for birdie.
Ooh, a little off balance there. I'm trying to get a little bit more of a comfortable lead going into the final 11. With Paige on my heels, I can never be comfortable. She has taught me that over the years. Oops. Was not a clean release. There's our birdie. It does also, this also feels like a missed opportunity when you don't get the birdie here.
Yeah, we really kind of finish on 9, 10, and 11. All, of course, are, about 200 feet, and they all feel like they should be birdies. And they have their own challenges, but you really feel like you should get 9, 10, and 11 to close out a loop or a round. And we're moving over to the final one of this loop.
Hole 11, 197 feet. You can throw a putter up the middle that turns a little bit, or you can throw a sidearm around the left side that has a big fade. Bree going with her sidearm, leaves it a little bit high and right, but she pops through and has a putt.
Yeah, had she missed those branches, I think she would have probably been at least 15 feet closer, but she still has a look.
I'm going to go with a similar route with a shock.
She's keeping it low, playing the skip hopefully, and yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that's in my comfort zone. View taking the center gap with a putter. You can see the wind is very strong right now for this course.
Yeah, that makes it interesting. Of course, there's some trees and palms and whatnot, but it's always kind of swirling when you're in this interior corridor, so to speak. So you're not sure how it's going to act while you're in there.
Paige also going to the middle gap, and that's how you do it.
That looked like a tree kiss and then a little stump redirect, or a tree redirect. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a beautiful shot, but she's using all the help she can get out there, and she's going to need it.
The ring. The rings, excuse me. I wonder if her hand gets heavy from all that jewelry. Yes, Bree. She hits a lot of those long putts. It's great to watch. View also with a tester here, the edge of the circle.
I feel like there's a theme, and unfortunately it means just a bit low on the basket, but here you are, you're lining up birdie, and that's going to push you to 18 under. Paige is going to have a tap in, push her to 12 under, so you're going to have 6 strokes leading into the final 11 holes of the tournament, Sarah. Thank you for joining us, and hope to see you for the conclusion.
Yeah, we'll see you guys on the back.
I think you could put in a food order for us when we're on like hole 7 or 8.
Love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.